Hey, what's up? It's Daniel Ehrenberg over here. Welcome to the franchise. Got a bonus episode for you this week because we got a lot of catch up to do. Both of us went to the theaters this season. This weekend. And by both of us, I mean myself and my co host, Logan Be Adair.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back for another episode of the franchise.
Jesus Christ.
You like that?
I loved it. Okay. So we are back for another episode of the franchise. We're covering John Wick Chapter 4 and
Parabellum.
No, that was Chapter 3. no, even though this one's the longest and most important entry of the franchise, it doesn't get a colon title. But we're covering that as well as Children of the Corn, which was recently
Parabellum.
Oh, that was recently released here in the States, and none of you give a shit about that, but we'll cover that after we talk about John Wick. But we're going to be spoiling the shit out of both of them.
Well, it did come out first, so we're actually going to do Children of the Corn first.
Are we?
So, but no, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would be insane. No, we'll do John Wick first, and then if you want, you can shut off the episode.
We'll see for the 400 blows next week.
Yeah, but we are going to be spoiling the movies, so if that matters to you, shut it off. But all right, let's get into it. John Wick, Chapter 4, Logan. Chapter 4 of 4, maybe.
Maybe. Have you seen the news though?
I've heard some stuff.
You want to talk about it now or wait till the end?
What's the news you saw?
Well, I saw that they're planning on this being the last one, but then they saw how much money it's making, so now they're thinking about doing another one. They were going to do like a spin-off, I guess, with some of the other characters, like the tracker character probably or whatever.
Yeah, I'll talk about that at the end.
But I saw they might do it just straight up John Wick Chapter 5.
I saw that comes from an interview with the head of the studio. So he's the person who probably most wants a John Wick Chapter 5. But like, if Chad Stahelski and Keanu Reeves don't want to do it, I don't see them making it.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be, though. They were going to film 4 and 5 back to back, and then COVID hit, and they were like, let's just make 4 really fucking long.
It does seem like this is a little incomplete.
So,
well, especially with one character. I did not stick around for the post-credit scene. I guess you can tell me about it.
I didn't either. Are you kidding me? This movie's 2 hours and 50 minutes long. I had to get the fuck out of there.
I couldn't breathe anymore in that movie theater.
I know.
It was packed. People came out.
Mine was fucking packed too, dude. We had to skip that. We were going to go see the 2:00, Logan, and we skipped it because it was too packed. And then we went to go see the 2:45, but we were still sitting in the aisle, which we don't normally do.
Yeah, I went really late. Probably should have just gone on Monday since we weren't doing it until today. But anyway, the Akira character, like she says that she's gonna get revenge and kill Donnie Yen, but then she doesn't.
Now, who's that?
Her dad is the one that her dad is like the head of the Tokyo Continental when John Wick goes there.
Oh yeah.
And Donnie Yen ends up killing the dad, and she vows to kill Donnie Yen, and then she sort of just disappears from the movie.
Well, she was cool and hot. I would go see that.
Yeah, but I just but I guess it's my fault. I guess there was a post-credit scene. Yeah. But stop making post-credit scenes and just make your movie complete.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck off with post-credits. I'm done with them. I don't stick around ever. I went to see Ant-Man 3 in theaters.
I'll never know.
You know there's going to be a post-credit scene because it's Marvel. I was out of there.
Probably with Jonathan Majors.
Probably. I don't know. There was a post-credit in Scream 6. I didn't stay for that.
Me either.
And I knew it was there, and I still didn't stay. Fuck you. You know what? When the credits start, that's the end of the movie.
What about... Oh, yeah, because I guess Children of the Corn, it just goes to black, and then there's like a prologue or epilogue. What's it called?
Epilogue, I guess.
Yeah, when it comes back and she goes and checks out the burned cornfield, remember?
That's part of the movie. They don't
Yeah,
even
that's part
go
of the
to a
movie.
credit. Yeah.
It's like Split, or when it goes to black and then comes right back afterward.
Yeah. That's right.
Anyway, John Wick Chapter
God,
4.
if Split came out today, that would be a post-credit scene. I guarantee you.
No, we were in the age of post credits.
But
That's 2016.
we're even deeper now.
No, M Night, he knows what he's doing. He's really methodical
I
with the whole
think
thing.
the
And he,
studio, because he was like
what studio?
the studio Lionsgate, they didn't have the rights to the Bruce Willis character from Unbreakable, and so he had to like go to Disney. I bet they were like uncomfortable with it. They would have been like, put it at the end of the credits.
Disney owned David Dunn.
Yes,
What the hell is going on?
Unbreakable was a Disney movie.
Oh yeah, weren't his first few Disney movies actually?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Anyway.
John Wick Chapter 4. So it's the same dude, Chad Stahelski. He was a stuntman for Keanu. Well, he also was the stunt double for The Crow. Did you know that?
I think at some point.
All right. But he's also Keanu's stunt double. He did Neo for the whole Matrix trilogy. He's directed all of these, and he's never directed any other movies.
Yeah, you're right. Do you want to hear what that other guy?
It's sort of like how Chris Evans isn't an actor anymore. He's just Captain America. This guy's not a director. He just makes John Wick movies.
What are you talking about? That's stupid. Do you want to hear what the other John Wick guys made? Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw, and Bullet Train. This guy's doing way better than that guy.
How dare you
I know.
denigrate the good name of Bullet Train?
But come on, like these are like serious crafts of art. Those other movies, Hobbs and Shaw.
I gotta say, even though all those movies are bullshit, I respect that guy more.
No way. You respect that guy more?
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
Making Deadpool 2,
David Leitch,
and Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
At least he's branching out. He's trying things. This motherfucker is just like, I only make movies about a silent assassin.
They didn't even introduce horses till the third one.
Yeah, man. They were late on the game to that. Planet of the Apes did it right away.
All right.
All right. So this is the first film without franchise creator Derek Kolstad. You know, he wrote the first few of these bad boys. And then he wrote Nobody, right? That Odenkirk one.
There's a nobody in this movie. That tractor
that's
guy.
True, man. Yeah, how come they called him Mr. Nobody? Isn't that the name of Kurt Russell's character in the Fast and Furious franchise?
Yeah, it absolutely is.
That's all I thought about.
Yeah, me too.
When somebody told me, like, I saw somebody on the internet say Mr. Nobody was in this movie, and I was like, are they crossing over?
That's what you thought?
Yeah, I really did for a second. All right, so we have new writers. Well, Shay Hatton, he co-wrote the last one, and now he wrote like the first drafts of this one. He's a dude still in his 20s, which makes me feel like shit.
He did the premiere of the I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, I know.
Show.
Yeah, which I watched every episode of.
You really did watch every episode of that?
Yep.
Only
I would have watched the second season if it got renewed.
Yeah, all right.
It was pretty good. Way better than the Scream TV show.
Really? I sort of liked what I watched of the Scream show.
Well, this is better. Maybe you'd like this.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, so this dude, I don't like him. All right,
Because he's in his 20s?
Well, that's one thing for sure. But also, he works a lot with Zack Snyder. And that's like a red flag to me.
I saw Zack Snyder recently. He's making a video game, I think. I think he's not working on a movie. He's making a video game.
He's working on movies too. He's doing one that comes out later this year called Rebel Moon, which is like his take on Star Wars, I guess. It's going to be like Star Wars, but with more fucking.
Really?
Probably.
All right. More schoolgirls, probably.
Yeah. More young ladies and heads exploding.
I hope so.
All right. Well, sure. And he's still working on that Army of the Dead franchise.
That's a franchise?
Yeah, dude. There was a prequel, Army of Thieves.
What?
Yeah, and they're gonna do sequels. That was the thing. Like when he pitched Army of the Dead to Netflix, he pitched it as a universe. Like we're gonna do movies that take place in this universe, the
Like the
Army of the
Dark Universe.
Deadiverse. Yeah, like the Dark Universe. I lament the end of the Dark Universe. I wish that was still going.
Did they only make one movie in the
Yeah,
Dark
I
Universe?
think so. The
It was
Mummy.
that bad, and it was the
Yeah,
Tom Cruise one. They didn't even do any of the other ones.
I know. It's such a bummer.
It really was. They had like Javier Bardem in there, and they
I think
had
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Russell Crowe was in there.
I want to say like maybe Angelina Jolie too.
Depp was gonna be the Invisible Man. I remember that.
Wow. And then they just went ahead and did an Invisible Man movie. Didn't think about Depp at all.
Yeah, you're right. Who is the Invisible Man?
It was Cyborg Ninja from Metal Gear Solid.
What? Isn't it the guy from that television show, Haunting of Hill House?
It might be. I don't remember. I only remember he's invisible for a lot of the movies, so I don't remember
Right.
what
I
he
think he's like the
looks
drug addict, the brother from Haunting of Hill House.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Haunting a Hill House went in one ear and out the other, man. I remember that one
Not for me.
episode where they're in the house and for the
Episode
whole time.
6.
Yeah. That's the only thing I remember about that show.
Yeah, not me. Great show.
It's good. Um. Anyway, back to Wick. So we got this guy, this young kid, Shay Hatton, and then we brought in Michael Finch to rewrite him. And Michael Finch is a dude who mostly writes like direct to DVD action movies.
Starring wrestlers. He's written a movie for Kane and Edge.
Wow.
Yeah, Countdown, Interrogation. Check them out.
The Big Red Machine and the Rated R Superstar?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
uh, um, well, he also wrote, I think, Predators, which we covered.
Okay.
So, John Wick 4, Chapter 4, excuse me. It came out this past week. It cost $100 million to make. It's already made $150 million. It's going to be huge. All right. I mean, let's talk about it, I guess, right?
Yep. I'm a bigger fan of this franchise, by the way, than the D Train is. Just to let all you guys know.
The thing is, I don't dislike any of them, including this one.
The third one, I thought you didn't really like.
No, I gave all of them a 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The third one was probably my least favorite, but I'd still I think they're all a 3. They just don't go past that for me. I enjoy them when they come out. I'm happy to go see them. If they make another one, I'll absolutely see it. I would see it even if I wasn't doing this show, but it just doesn't leave me with a lot. Like I've never rewatched them, and I don't know that I ever will. Maybe the first one.
You don't appreciate? Are you serious? You never rewatched? No. If you're gonna rewatch one, rewatch that second one.
Really?
Second one's the best one. That's the best John Wick movie. There's so much different set pieces going on. They build the world out even more. You don't have to watch the dog be killed. It's way cooler.
I think maybe I don't like the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think the reason I like the first one the most is because you can pretend it takes place in the real world.
Yeah, there's in the first one they have the Continental and they have like the token system, but they don't have like the high table and all like the other continentals and all the other countries.
There's an aesthetic to the movie now, which is like this is taking place in its own world. Every third person on this planet is an assassin.
Yes.
And I don't know how they're all successful enough to maintain that as a living, but they are. And fucking, like I was watching a scene in this movie, all right, where John Wick, he goes and he fights in a club. Remember?
Sure. That's like a waterfall.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, this is a cool scene. And then I was thinking about it. You know, you have a lot of time to think in this movie because it's almost 3 hours fucking long. I was thinking about it, like, there are no janitors working for this club. No one cleans this club. Like, I don't think
How do you know that?
Like it's such an aesthetic nightmare. These movies, like they're so perfectly crafted that like I just feel like nothing goes on in this world. Like there are no working class people in this world.
Yeah, I mean, there's one part where I mean I don't know what working class is, but there is one part where I think in the third movie John Wick just goes and visits a doctor and he just hangs out with like a doctor. And he's that guy's not a
But
hitman.
see, doctors, that's part of the thing. You know, like in superhero comics, there's always been characters that are like, oh, I'm the doctor who like keeps your secret identity private, and I'll do that. Like that folds into it because you know, assassins get injured
Well,
a
this
lot.
guy is
What
like
I'm
an
saying is
assassin's
like there
doctor.
I don't think there's anybody in this world running a falafel truck. I don't
Yeah.
think there's anybody teaching elementary school. Like what goes on in this world? It's just killing. He gets a fucking bounty put on his head in Paris, and literally the entire city is after him.
If that's seriously a thought that you have, then I don't think you should watch these movies anymore.
No, but I like them. I like them. It's just that it'll never be my thing.
But if that's like an actual problem that like
It's not a
that
problem. It's just that I
okay.
prefer movies about real people talking to each other. And these movies have people that could and would never exist. And they almost never talk. John
What's
Wick
the,
has like 7 lines in this movie.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. There was like 40 minutes went by and then he talked for the first time and I was like, "Oh shit, Keanu Reeves like has lines." I forgot about that. What's the difference between this and Once Upon a Time in the West? A movie like that.
I mean, that has characters. There's a lot of character building in that
So
movie.
this one has Donnie Yen and the guy with his dog and the girl who Akira.
Yeah, and,
All
and
these great
I
new
and I thought
characters.
this was the
Skarsgård,
and I thought this was the best movie of the franchise.
but still only a 3.
Yes.
So why 2 whole letter grades between this and Once Upon a Time in the West then? I feel like
Come on,
they're
man.
pretty similar.
What about the score in Once Upon a Time in the West?
Score in
It's
this
a
is
beautiful.
awesome.
That's directed by fucking Sergio Leone. This is
This is directed by Chad
directed by
Stahelski,
a
bro.
stunt man.
Ex stuntman, now director.
Go fuck yourself, man.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Whatever. Will you ever direct a movie that's not in the John Wickiverse?
Of course.
I would love to see it.
Actually, probably maybe not.
Maybe not.
No, I think it will.
We'll see. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just like my favorite scene in this entire movie was the scene where John Wick and who's Kane? Is that Donnie Yen?
Yeah, Donnie
Yeah.
Yen.
Um, when they're in that church chatting,
Yeah, that's nice.
I loved that scene. Like I got very invested in that scene. I was like, God, if there was more shit like this in these movies, like I'd be pretty into it, I think. But it's mostly
Yeah.
just a lot of running around.
You know what you could probably take out? Maybe I'll do this when it comes out. I'll like recut John Wick Chapter 4 the way I did with Big Brother 9 and I'll make it you can sort of cut out I feel like all of the what was that guy's name who was the original Deadpool?
What?
He
Ryan
was like
Reynolds?
the No, he was the stuntman for Ryan Reynolds in the Wolverine movie.
I have no idea.
Come on. He's in
I
this movie. He plays like a fat Russian guy that he goes to see at one point. I feel like you can cut
yeah.
all of that out.
I
of the movie.
agree you could cut all that out. That's just an excuse for another action sequence. Like even during the conversation that they were
Scott
having.
Adkins.
Okay, yeah. Even during the conversation they were having like at the table, like remember they're like arguing back and forth at a
They
table.
play a card game.
Yeah. Yeah. During that scene I remember thinking like nothing that happens right now is mattering. Like
Yeah,
we're
none of these
just
people are
waiting for
dying
them
right
to
now.
fight.
Yeah, but none of our characters are dying. We're just gonna kill this guy, go back to what we were doing because he gets hired by the Tonks from Harry Potter.
Nymphadora Tonks.
Nymphadora Tonks, that actor, and she's like, "Hey, go kill this guy," and then they just go and they hang out and they kill the guy. But it's like a long time. It's probably like 35, 40 minutes of the movie. Like,
Yeah.
you can get this down to 2 hours easily. Just
It's
cut all
a
that
good
out.
death, man. They should have just had it be like a 5-minute fight sequence that ends in that one shot of him breaking his neck.
Yeah. That's fine, but we literally do not need that. Like, my life would be fine if I never knew this character was a thing.
I liked the Berlin action sequence a lot. I think Kane is the most compelling character in the movie, and that if they do any spin-offs, do that guy.
Well, I feel like if they did a spinoff, it would just be within the world. It just John Wick is not there anymore. I feel like
No,
everybody would be in it.
They've announced a film, Logan.
Yeah.
There's a movie. Do you recall that there's a character ballerina in
From
John
the
Wick Parabellum?
yeah. That's the worst part of any of these movies.
Okay, well, that character
Oh.
is being spun off into her own movie. They've recast her to be Ana de Armas,
Mm.
and John Wick is gonna be in that. Like Keanu
Okay.
Reeves is all like he's saying he's not doing another John Wick movie, but he's already signed on to reprise his role in that. And Ian McShane's gonna be in it too. And apparently Lance Reddick filmed some shit for it before he died.
Okay, that was sad seeing his character actually die in
He
this
dies
movie.
right away too.
Yeah, it was pretty
Such
crazy.
a bummer. Like the movie starts and it says like in memory of Lance Reddick, and I was like, oh. And then like seconds later, you see him die on screen.
Yeah, no, it was pretty sad. I
It's
forgot what
wild.
we were talking about before Lance Reddick.
But the ballerina movie.
Oh, right. If you asked me what's my least favorite John Wick, I would have said the third one. And if you said what's the worst part of that movie, I would have said all the ballerina stuff when he goes and visits that.
Well,
So that's weird that that's the first spinoff we're getting.
that's the first spin-off, and then we're also getting the TV show The Continental.
Yeah, I've heard about that forever.
Yeah, well that's finally getting made. It's been cast. They have a format for it. It's going to be only 3 episodes, but they're all 90 minutes long. And
But no Lance Reddick. I feel like he was
no,
going to be
no,
a big deal in that
no.
one.
Do you know who they got to star in it?
No, I don't.
Mel Gibson.
What?
Yeah, so I won't be watching that.
Is it? Are you serious?
Yes.
Mel Gibson is going to be in the Continental
He's
TV
the
show.
star of it. He's the headline actor in the Continental TV
Oh,
show.
I thought you were completely joking.
No.
Wow. All right. Well, I
So
guess
you
we're
watch
watching
that,
that
and
I'm
you
not
can
gonna
do an
watch it.
episode on it. Let me know how it goes
one. No, I stand in solidarity with
Thank
my friend
you.
D-Train.
with your Jew friend.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm done with Mel. I decided I'm never watching anything else he's in ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to the movie. So that's how it starts. But then they go into the Berlin sequence, which is like basically cat and mouse, Kane versus John Wick, right? And they're running all around that hotel. That's cool, man. I like when the fight scenes are like confined somewhere indoors. Like I wish I would watch a whole John Wick movie that's just like him in a hotel, like sort of like Die Hard, like a Die Hard in a hotel with John Wick.
Well, the problem with these movies is that usually there can't. Well, I guess it's not a problem because they break the rules. But one of the rules is that you can't kill people inside the Continental.
Yeah,
So we haven't really seen that until right now.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
but-
Wick breaks the rules in 2, and that's why the bounty's put on him.
this whetted my appetite for that, dude. I was because that was probably my favorite. That was the most engaged I was in the entire movie. Like
Really?
when that sequence was going on, I remember thinking like, oh, this is why people are giving it a fucking 5. I get it.
Wow. No,
Yeah.
that's not. That's I got more engaged as it went on when we got to like the one where the camera goes up and it's all the rooms and we see
I felt like I was just watching somebody play a video game during that scene.
that's what they're going for.
I know, but it's a popular thing. I know Twitch is huge. Millions of people a day sign on to Twitch to watch other people play video games. But like,
Okay, but do you not appreciate
to me,
that,
that's boring.
But do you not appreciate that somebody thought about this idea and then they set everything up? They got everybody together to come up with the process of how to do it, and then they actually did it, and it fucking rips hard as hell.
Yeah, but I mean, they also did the same thing at the end of Doom with The Rock. There's that first-person shooter sequence, and we're not all giving that a 5.
We should go back though and probably do that.
I did go back and I gave it a 3. I went up.
Okay, what's better, this or that?
This.
Okay, but also like all everything with the end with the when he's going up the stairs and he keeps having a they keep knocking him down
That
the stairs.
that is my favorite sequence of the entire movie.
Oh, so you lied then.
No, I said
You're
like
more engaged. In
yeah,
the part.
Berlin was like I was most engaged. I was like maybe this movie is great.
Yeah.
You know? But the stair thing happens at the very end. Like I'm already like a little bored. I have to pee. I want to get out of the theater. But like I laughed really hard a couple times during that sequence. Like that one, I feel like John Wick forgets to be fun sometimes, and
What? That's the whole point of John Wick is to be fun.
and that scene was super fun.
Yeah, I had fun throughout. Should we talk about what are some of the other characters? What about Lawrence Fishburne?
Oh, he's having a great time. I love when Lawrence Fishburne shows up in these movies because he injects it with some energy. Everybody else is so dour, like they're all bummed out about their like loved ones getting murdered or something. And then Lawrence Fishburne shows up and he's fun, and he still has great chemistry with, like, very lived-in chemistry with Keanu, probably as a result of doing all those Matrixes.
Yeah, but I sort of like find him a little bit annoying. I feel like he said that one line where he's like, "Somebody, please get this man a gun," and then ever since then he's like, I have to play every line to match that energy because
Yeah.
people love that part. So I feel like that's what he's doing. And I sort of have a question: what happened to Jason Mantzoukas?
Oh yeah, you're right.
He was like his friend in the last movie, and now he's
The
gone.
the TikTok man.
He was the TikTok.
Yeah, I remember that. That was his name in that movie, the TikTok man.
Oh wow! But the whole time I was like, is he ever gonna show up?
Yeah, that's
But
wild. Why didn't they bring him back?
yeah, I don't know. That was a real bummer though.
I'm sure he would have been excited to return.
Definitely would have been excited.
Yeah.
Wasn't this probably the coolest thing he ever did? John
Oh,
Wick.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the Lawrence Fishburne stuff. I really appreciated that subway sequence. But then, what's up with this? They're in the subway, right? Everything's quiet. There doesn't seem to be anybody down there. There's literally nobody on the train. You know?
Yeah.
And John Wick, he gets his new Kevlar suit, which is pretty sweet. He gets his new gun, which he seemed very excited about. I don't know anything about guns, so
Can I bring up something real quick?
Yeah.
About his suit. I love the thing that he does where when he's getting shot at, he pulls the suit
I
up above
love
his
that
face.
too. I love that too.
Every mannerism he made. John Wick is such a cool fucking character.
Yeah, that's a really good touch. All right. But then he leaves the subway and he foots it over to where the church is, where they're supposed to be meeting at the end for the big duel. Like, why didn't he just take the subway? There was nobody on the subway, and everybody in the entire city of Paris was trying to kill him.
You mean like when he gets out and then there's like a big chase scene? Why didn't he just stay in the subway?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. I don't know. I guess that would have been a better idea. The subways are always empty because there's that other moment where he's like has like a really it's just him and Akira in a subway together.
Yeah,
and she's like, I'm
absolutely.
gonna get revenge, and you're like, why is nobody else in the subway?
If I'm John Wick, I'm in the subway 75% of my time.
No, yeah, that's the safest place to go. It feels like.
Yeah.
I didn't even
It's
think
crazy.
about that. By the way, did you sort of feel like this was a little Mission Impossible Fallout when they're like in the boats under the city in the water with Fishburne, and then they come out and there's like that whole chase through France on the motorcycle and everything? It felt very Mission Impossible Fallout.
I actually didn't think about it then, but I did think about Mission Impossible Fallout watching this movie because it did seem like they were trying to do something like that, like a culmination of a long franchise where like we're going to see tons of characters and
Yes.
And everybody's going to be involved in the big thing at the end.
Right. Monahan. There's like a big scene with Monahan.
Who's Monahan?
Michelle Monaghan in Fallout, you mean?
Oh, yeah, no. But in this, like, it's, you get to see Lawrence Fishburne Unfortunately, not with the TikTok man. Ian McShane is important again, and whatever. Is Sarsgaard in any of the previous movies?
Well, first of all, it's Skarsgård. Sarsgaard is Peter Sarsgaard. All right.
Oh yeah,
First of
you're
all,
right.
this is a
Sorry.
Skarsgård. Stellan's.
Yeah, this is Stellan's son.
Stellar skateboard. You know that joke?
Yeah,
Another
know that
Mantzoukas
joke.
thing.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah, that's from Bang
You would have had a
Bang.
great time. You would have called him Bill Skateboard the whole movie on set. I'm sure that would have been really fun.
Yeah. Oh, poor guy.
What did you ask me? I'm sorry.
No,
Bill
was he
Skarsgård?
in any of the previous John
No,
Wicks?
definitely not.
All right, so he comes into this movie as the head of the table, which is like the big supervillain organization at the heart of these films, And what's this guy's name? His first name?
They call him Marquis. The Marquis.
No, I mean Skarsgård.
Bill
Bill
Skarsgård.
All right, you got Stellar Skateboard. You've got Alexander Skarsgård,
And he rules. I love Alexander.
I do too.
But I love Stellan also. Stellan's been in like
I love Stellan too. Come on. Bill Skarsgård is the dud of the Skarsgård family.
He's Pennywise. Come on.
He sucks.
He can do some stuff. I'm not.
I don't even like looking at him. He's such a little twerp.
That's the point. He knows what he is. He's like playing into it in his roles.
I guess, but like, why doesn't John Wick just like beat the shit out of this guy?
Yeah. Well, that's sort of the point. How he has to hire Donnie Yen because he's such a little scaredy cat.
Yeah.
He gets Donnie Yen to duel him so he doesn't have to.
Right.
I sort of had the thought. I was like, is that really going to be the conflict in this movie? It's like John Wick versus Bill Skarsgård. Obviously, John Wick is going to win. But then, he hires Donnie Yen.
That is the main conflict. Like, it is John Wick versus Bill Skarsgård.
But Bill Skarsgård has other people do his stuff. But he gets like the tracker to track him.
Yeah,
and
he's
Donnie
such
Yen
an
to fight him.
ineffectual character that he has to get other people to do shit for him, which is fine. Like, I'm okay with like the main villain of a movie being a coward.
It's like Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren rules.
But Kylo Ren can fight. Like Bill Skarsgård, it doesn't feel like, how did he get into this position?
His dad was Stellan.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the Marquis could only have become the head of the table via nepotism.
Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't think about that. But
much like his own real life.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why he was so good at the role.
He's my LVP of this movie.
Yeah, that's fine. But I thought he was pretty fun. Oh, I mean that's possible.
His death was very satisfying.
I loved it. I thought should we skip to the end, like the whole duel?
We can talk. I mean, we've been bouncing around, so like, we can talk about whatever.
But they get to the duel, and so Bill Skarsgård, he got Donnie Yen to duel John Wick at the end, and Donnie Yen shoots John Wick, and you're like, did John Wick shoot? How did he miss Donnie Yen? John Wick doesn't miss. What's going on? And then he's like, no, John Wick didn't shoot. And then he shoots him. That's probably the best part of the entire movie. I was like, the whole movie was worth it. All the 3 hours.
Maybe that's why it's getting 5s, because like that's so satisfying, and that's the note you leave on.
I really did think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. The whole duel was cool, except for that you could tell it's like shot on a green screen and the background's fake.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel, yeah, that's sort of one of the only parts I feel like it did look a little fake. Everything else is like so in camera and real, and this was one of the
because it's taking place during sunrise, and they definitely weren't going to a fucking church in Paris at sunrise and shooting this.
Yeah.
So
they're like, all right, we have 6 minutes. Everybody get in position.
Exactly.
Damn it, we got to do it again tomorrow. Oh, Donnie Yen has to fly home tomorrow. All right, well I guess we're just doing the green screen then. We have 6 hours left.
Yeah. What are you
gonna do? All right. I mean, anything else? Yeah, he died. I guess there was a grave at the end.
Did we need to see the grave?
Well, yeah, they thought it was gonna be the last movie.
I'm okay. All right.
And The whole loving husband I thought was really good also.
No, I liked that too, but I feel like it's enough to get it earlier in the movie. Like when he walks off from like his pals there and he says like I want my gravestone to say loving husband. Like and that's sort of the last thing he says to those guys. Like that was very moving to me. That worked really well in the context of the franchise. But then at the end, when you see like Lawrence Fishburne and Ian McShane looking at his grave that says "loving husband," I felt like that was extraneous. The last shot of the movie should have been him like passing out on those steps.
Yeah, like Planet of the Apes, how Caesar dies, and then we just see the son.
Yes,
So it's
exactly
sort of like
like
the same
that.
ending. How it is pretty similar to that ending. But are Ian
It's
McShane and
Planet of the
Lawrence?
Assassins. This franchise is that something that happened? Like assassins took over for normal humans, and now there are no janitors anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what we should choose to believe going forward.
Okay.
Are Ian McShane and Fishburne friends? Like, are they going to have a relationship going forward without John Wick now that he's dead? Or are they just never going to talk again?
I think they would. I think in the franchise, like they would check in on each other, and I think if they make further John Wick movies, they'll for sure be like um connected in some way. But yeah, I don't know.
By the way, another question: what happened to Halle Berry? Didn't she live from the last movie?
Oh yeah, I think the idea was that it was weird she was in that.
She's good. I like her in that movie.
I kind of do too. It's funny. Like they set up a bunch of interesting characters in Parabellum, and then didn't do anything with them in this movie.
Yeah. Well, we're
And
saving it for the Ana de Armas spinoff.
I get maybe, but I did like the characters they set up, and maybe that's true. Maybe they have plans for those characters in the fucking Ana de Armas spinoff, and that's why they couldn't use them in this movie.
Who are they getting to make that? Do you know?
Yeah, it's going to be directed by Len Wiseman,
Okay.
who did the Underworld movies and Die Hard 4.
Is that Live Free or Die Hard?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Kate Beckinsale's ex-husband. She like left him to fuck Pete Davidson.
So she was with him throughout the entire Underworld then?
Yeah. They met on
Wow.
Underworld and they had like a Mila Jovovich Paul W.S.
Yeah,
thing going.
that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Logan.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. Honestly, like it's really long, and I sort of don't love
It's
that
too long.
it possibly you can cut out all the Scott Adkins stuff, but and I don't love that that Akira just disappears because I thought she was really cool for the first hour of the movie, and I guess they're saving it for more stuff. But I miss when movies were fucking movies and you could just watch a movie and get the complete story. And here,
I really feel that way. Yeah. Like, it was satisfying because the other character they introduced, with the fellow with the dog, what's that actor's name?
I have no idea, but he's nobody,
Oh, that's nobody.
Mr. Nobody, the
That's
tracker.
all right. Yeah, the tracker. Shamir Anderson is the actor's name.
I thought he was really likable and charming.
I
He wa-
did
like when
too, and
he wasn't trying too hard at all.
right. And
Really
I was
natural.
very pleased that you got a complete arc beginning to end with that character, because that almost never happens in franchise movies anymore. Like, you ever watch like you ever go back and watch like Batman Returns? Like the Penguin and Catwoman characters have a beginning, middle, and end in those movies. That doesn't happen anymore.
No, right?
Yeah.
I agree. So I'm gonna go 4, but I just think it's just the perfect way to handle all of this type of stuff, and it really is an art, whatever you want to say about it.
Gun Fu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with giving all the John Wicks a 3.
I think I give them all 4. Maybe I give the third one a 3, but I really like all these movies.
They're good. I'd rank them. This one, the first one, the second one, the third one.
Can you say it again? Sorry.
4, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, and I think I go 2, 4, 1, 3.
I'd be willing to go back and watch 2. It's probably the one I remember the least.
The only downside of 2, I think, is Ruby Rose.
Everything oh my else god, that was when
so
everyone was like, "Is she gonna be a big star?"
No, she wasn't.
No. I mean,
But even Common is awesome in that movie.
I like Common as an actor. Actually, it's he's kind of good.
Okay, he is good in that movie.
Yeah. Um. All right. Who's your MVP of this one?
Going with Keanu Reeves.
Keanu getting
Yeah,
the
but if you
full
want to
on
go
MVP.
Yen or whoever, that's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Donnie Yen, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna argue with that. Like, Keanu rules. Now, Donnie Yen is Ip Man, which is a franchise, and I've never seen any of those.
I used to think it was IP Man forever.
The
I
IP
swear.
crowd.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we should do that sometime.
Oh, it's a franchise.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 of them.
He's in all of them.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that's like his thing. That's
yeah,
really cool.
he's Ip
Actually.
Man.
All right, that's awesome.
So yeah, that was my guy. I liked him. I thought it was cool that he was blind. I loved that scene where like they're doing like a cat and mouse thing, and John Wick has to be really quiet, and then he like rolls over to get his gun, and a piece of glass breaks, and then so Kane knows where he is.
They did that recently in Scream 6 in the bodega scene.
Well, it was better here. And
yeah. By the way, we should mention that Donnie Yen is just basically doing his Rogue One character.
Who's he in Rogue One?
He's like a blind Jedi.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
is he blind in real life? Is Ip Man blind?
No, I did Google it. He's not blind.
Wow.
Yeah, I did have the thought.
Oh, before I do want to mention, I popped real hard when Clancy Brown showed up. I'm a big fan of that actor, and he was cool in it.
Yeah, I thought he was Donald Sutherland for a little while.
Oh my god.
He had like a big beard. I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, he was doing some cool shit. So look, John Wick, great franchise. I'll keep watching the movies. Not going to watch the TV show because it stars a Nazi. But good on them. Keanu's great. Yeah, Kane is great. He's my MVP. Who's your LVP?
My LVP is Scott Adkins.
Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like you can just take him out of the movie. He's
Yeah,
literally the least valuable person in the movie.
That's solid. I'm gonna go with that Skarsgård fella though.